Hello, Matthias here. This is going to be a two-parter, sort of. Not that there will be two parts, but two distinct aspects to this video. The first is I want to have a brief discussion about a new direction for In What Eyes We Trust. There are as many different reasons for providing content on YouTube as there are YouTubers. Some of us are here for artistic expression. Some of us are here for sub-whoring, garnering and catering to an ever-widening audience. I came here originally because I wanted to have a conversation and to, as my channel suggests, provide knowledge through scientific inquiry without the requirement of faith. And I've gotten away from that to a greater extent than I wanted to. I've found myself doing a lot more ponage and I don't know, I look back at my videos and I kind of feel like I come across as a jerk a lot. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just not my thing. And it's not really what I want to do. There is, the ownage thing is fine, and a lot of people provide me with a great amount of entertainment with that as their shtick. That's totally cool. And this doesn't mean that you can attack me and expect to get away with it scot-free. I will bite back. That won't change. And it also doesn't mean that if somebody is completely full of crap and they come and spread it throughout the world via YouTube, that I won't call them on it, because I will. I just want to do it in a different way, in a way that I used to. I guess around the time that the videos that I was making toward the Atheist Antidote started, I changed the way that I was talking to people, and it's not really what I want to do. I guess that's the extent of it. So I want to talk to you guys. I want to learn things from you, and I want to hopefully teach you some things. And I also want to take the channel in a more artistic direction. And that actually has to do with the second part of this video, which is a response to Starfed Rogue, which we'll begin now. We'll say more on the direction of what the channel will be in the future, and I guess that's enough about what it will not be from now on. Now it's to Starfed Rogue. I can't remember the name of your video off the top of my head, but it had to do with the new Canon 7D. And I think most of you know this, a photographer. And I'm getting back into that, hopefully in the capacity of a professional, in January. And I have chosen the Canon T1i as my new camera. Starfed, just so you know, the T1i is a consumer camera, but it has the same sensor as the 50D, and it has Digic 4. It only has one instead of two like the 7D. But it's quite a nice camera, especially considering it's a consumer camera. It's great, and it also provides video capture at 1080p, which is very nice. It's not full framed, I don't guess, but it does allow for 3.4 shots per second, which for a single processor of the Digic variety, that's pretty good. It's a little bit more expensive than the comparable Nikon, but it's worth it. It's chunkier, it's sturdier, it's a better product, and in my opinion, it carries a better name also. So, to answer your question, the three cameras that you sort of presented are the 5D Mark II, the 7D, and the D1 Mark IV. Between the 5D Mark II and the 7D, I would probably go, between those two, I'd probably go for the 5D Mark II because of its full frameness. I shoot a lot of, I shoot primarily architectural and atmospheric shots. As far as the professional end of things go, I think I said that right. Anyway, as far as the professional end of things goes, there we go. I primarily shoot architecture and people shots, whether portraiture or people involved in activities, usually non-sporting activities. So I don't need the fast frame rate. So I would probably go with the 5D Mark II. Now, between the 7D and the D1 Mark IV, I would definitely go with the 7D, because, as you suggested at the end of your video, I could spend money on L-class lenses, and since I already have a number of Canon lenses, I'm not going to go to Nikon or Minolta. I've been shooting Canon for quite some time. This will be my first Canon digital, and I was a purist, stuck with 35mm for a long time, and it wasn't until recently that I decided to sell the 35mm and get a nice digital. There were not an appreciable amount of differences between the 7D and the D1 Mark IV for me to justify spending, what is it, an extra like $2,500 or $3,000, because they both have, you know, dual Digit 4 processors, and they are both very fast, and they're both, from what I can tell, sort of geared toward the same. Well, they're not really geared toward the same type of photography either, because the D1 Mark IV is full framed. Regardless of that, and regardless of my style, I would still prefer to go with the 7D. Now the 7D is out of my range, but if I had that range of money and there literally was a choice between the two, I'd go for the 7D and pick up those lenses like you suggested. And I also have a question for you. I'm going to have, I'm getting a kit camera, so I'll have the 28 to 55mm EF lens, and I'll wind up having about $250 left over. And I was going to see if you could offer me any suggestions about filters. I obviously have most of the filters I would normally use anyway. I've got a UV filter and polarizer, and a couple of color filters for black and white photography. And I also need a prime lens, probably a 50mm. And I don't even know if that's possible, because I haven't done my research on, in that $250 range, for a good lens that's fixed. So I know it's been rambling. Sorry. Anyway, for those of you who are not Starhead Rogue and you sat through the photo nerd talk, thank you. Please rate accordingly, I guess. Maybe a little on the nice side. And look for a new and, I think, more interesting direction for this channel. And thanks for watching.